Oh, what's good, what's good, what's good, what's good? We are now live. FCC TV. You cannot stop a movement culture. I'm trying to stop that now. But yeah, you cannot stop a movement culture. Today, we have a special guest. I'm going to let him introduce himself. Introduce yourself to the people who may not know you or do know you.
Peace to the family. This your boy Mr.G, aka Chuguladi. I'm over here with my man Class, just having fun. Let's do it.
Definitely. So let's jump right into it. Mr. G, tell the people if they don't know you, where they might know you from.
How Shenanigans said I could currently be I work with Wendy Williams, with Nick Cannon, and just they probably know me following my little brother around, Coco Man.
So tell me, how did you get on Wendy Williams show? Because it's been around for maybe 15, 20 years. How long have you been a part of it?
Oh man, I gotta salute to my brother, Smooth the Hustler, Trigger the Gambler, D.V. Elias Christ, Ice-T, and Coco. Not Coco, my brother, Coco, Ice-T wife. I was taking pictures of them in the beginning, and they took me to the Wendy Williams radio station, WBLS.
Okay.
And Wendy Williams' husband came out, Kev. He grew up with us in Brownsville. So working with Smooth the Hustler, and they took me to WBLS, the Wendy Williams Experience at the, and then they actually, I linked up with Kev. And at the time I was a dean for PS 323. So I was able to work during the day, but after work I would head to 34th Street and Park Avenue. And so that's how I linked up. So, salute to Smooth the Hustler, Trigger the Gambler, Ice-T, Coco, D.V. Elias Christ, that's my brother.
Shout out to all of them, I definitely know them. Question I want to ask you, you said you brought your camera. So what were you doing for that? Were you shooting videos for them, photography? Like what were you?
All right, well, how I got into photography, my girl at the time, Glenda, I took her to Bruno Versace on 23rd Street, and I paid this brother $1,800 for 3 hours work. And I'm like, damn, I'm working for the Board of Education, takes me about 2 weeks to get $2,300.
Yeah.
In 3 hours, this brother got $1,800. I said, I'm in the wrong field. So when I went back to pick up the portfolio, he was like, I told him, yo, how can I learn? He said, if you want to be my apprentice, you can be. So after work at school, I would go to the city. So he would show me lighting, show me how to edit.
Wow.
And so he was the one who got me started. And salute to Bruno Versace. He's actually related to Johnny.
I'm about to ask you that with his last name. I'm about to ask you that.
So he moved to Las Vegas around 2007, and when he moved to Las Vegas, he was like, "Yo, Mr. G, New York is yours."
Yeah.
So I just ran wild, taking pictures of like college girls, up and coming models, and so Smooth.
And this is all while you're still working as a dean.
Still working as a dean. I didn't leave the school until we got the TV show with Wendy Williams. Because when we was at the radio, I was still going back and forth. But once we got the TV show, I was like, you know what? I'm gonna just fire my boss and just trust in myself. And I never went back.
So let me ask you, was these paid gigs? Like when you first started at the Wendy Williams show, was you getting paid? Or
Oh yeah.
Okay.
It was at the radio station. It wasn't as much as I was getting paid at the TV show.
Okay.
You know, that's one of the main reasons why I salute Kev, Wendy, because they put me in position. The pay wasn't the best pay, but it was something. It wasn't enough for me to leave my day job.
Okay, I get that.
But once we got the TV show, I was ready to knock out everybody at the school. No, I'm just saying.
It's an F4, y'all made it, nigga. I made it.
No, but salute the Dr. Appear. He was the principal.
Okay.
Cool brother. He saw what I was doing, and he was like, look, he saw what I was capable of, and he said I wouldn't be able to look in the mirror if I was to not let you have this opportunity.
Yeah,
exactly.
So
he could have been on some, we need you here, but he was like, nah, brother.
I see you could grow. I see it's bigger potential.
So that's why I've been for career day, any celebrities that I know, I would actually bring them to the school 323. Zab Judah came through.
Oh yeah, definitely. That's
so
definitely
Brownsville, man.
Yeah, I was asking that too. So how long did you know Smooth the Hustler? Did y'all go to school? Was you a rapper back in the days?
Nah, man. I
You
tried
had
to
to rap the swag. You ain't really drop
I tried to be a rapper, but if I had a rap to eat, I'd be starving.
He said, yeah, I wasn't that good.
Nah. I actually met Smooth Trigger the Gambler first.
Okay.
I met Trig at a open mic, and I didn't recognize who he was, but he told me he's saying he rapped broken language. I'm like, get the hell out of here. You don't sit. So he started spitting that to me at the spot, and I was like, yo, you can't duplicate that.
Yeah, that's you.
So I was taking pictures of him and Stereo, this brother that they call Stereo, he could sing. So I shot Trig for a minute, me and Trig got cool, then he said, yo, I want you to meet my brother, Smooth. So I met Smooth at Ice-T House, I believe.
How did you get there? Because there's a lot of name dropping going on. How did you get to Ice-T House? Let's get to that. You say, I was met Smooth at Ice-T House. You know what I'm saying?
Smooth the Hustler in Ice-T is SMG.
Yeah, SMG, yeah.
I'm SMG photographer.
Really?
So yeah, I'm the official photographer for SMGs. Smooth the Hustler, Trigger the Gambler, they hooked me up with Ice-T. Took me to the car shows and all this other stuff. So next thing I know. And the funny thing is, I'm hanging out with Ice-T, and he has no idea. He met me a long time ago.
Oh, we don't know it's you, yeah.
He don't know I'm the same kid
from back then.
From 1987 in LA.
Oh, wow.
Because his Ice-T DJ, Evil E, is my cousin.
Oh, wow.
So when I used to go to my aunt's house.
You was just little shorty.
Ice-T and them was in the back. If you look at Ice-T's songs, CDs, it said, thanks to Mrs. Garcia for putting up with the noise. That's my aunt.
Oh, his house.
Yeah, so he had no idea that I was the same kid that he met years ago.
Wow.
So it wasn't until Henry, my cousin, called him and said, yo, we over here with Mr.G. And he was like, my cousin, Mr.G.? And he was like, nah, I don't think he's your cousin. He's been hanging with us for months. He never mentioned y'all. So he was like, put him on the phone. I was like, what up, Primo? What's good?
Cousin,
why you ain't tell Ice what it was? I was like, at that time, I was trying to get in for what I was doing.
Yeah,
I ain't want to be like,
use name drop.
Yeah. Like I do that shit now. But
you know, that's my buddy.
Yeah, I do that shit now. But back then, I wasn't doing it. I could be with somebody and like I would never say nothing.
So when did the name Mr.G come in? How long you had that? You said they were talking about your cousin younger, so you always had the Mr.G?
Nah. I can't mention the rapper's name, but y'all all know him. He be talking shit. That's why I ain't gonna mention his name.
50 Cent?
Call him. Oh my God! I ain't even gonna say he be talking shit. We was at this spot, and the name of my company was Guerrero Vision.
Okay.
So he was like, "Yo, salute to." He was shouting at all his boys, chip. When he got to me, he said, "Salute to my boy." How the fuck you say your company name? I said Guerrero Vision. He was like, forget that. We gotta cut that short. He said, what that start with? I said, G. And he was like, Mr. G Photo, that's your name from now on. So I was like,
that's a funny story.
I said, I like it. And what was so funny about that, when I went back to work at WBLS, I told Wendy, yo, call me Mr. G from now on. She was like, thank God.
I'm gonna keep pronouncing it.
So that's why a lot of people knew my name, but they just didn't know who I was.
Okay.
Wendy she was like, Mr. G gonna be in the building. Like when we ever the Dons and Devo or whatever, she's like, Mr. G, where you at? That's my photographer. Make sure he takes your pictures. And even at the show, she's like, Mr. G going. So everybody knew my name, but they just didn't know who I was.
So tell me about your upbringing in Brownsville. I see the Brownsville veteran shirt on.
Yes, sir.
So what street, neighborhood in Brownsville did you grow up for the people?
First and foremost, Brookdale Hospital.
Okay.
Actually, Brooklyn Women's Hospital, but being that they closed that hospital down, we got our records transferred to Brookdale Hospital. First Livonia Avenue in Rockaway. Okay. This is in the 70s. So then they built Riverdale Towers. We was one of the first tenants in Riverdale Towers. My family and the Fernandez family. Okay. That was like in 1970s.
Who was over there? Tilden was there?
Tilden, yeah.
That was there already?
I think Tilden was there before God was born. Tilden always been there.
Okay.
Tilden always.
Tilden old as dirt. Old as dirt is on.
Alpha Omega. Salute to Tilden. Salute to my man Mamo, always showing me love. Yeah, like one of the baddest basketball players I've seen.
Yeah, he's still balling.
Yeah. I remember when he broke his leg. I think it was a car accident or a motorcycle accident. Motorcycle, right? Motorcycle. I was kind of, I was like, okay, Mamo down, so we could definitely be tilted now.
Oh shit! Sit it down. We can elbow.
Because with Mamo, we wasn't beating tilted. Yeah, so we started washing tilted. Yes, we did, and I know D probably listening. But Mamo got back about maybe a year later. He wasn't jumping as high, but he still was nice.
Moving,
yeah. I always looked up to Mamo, and I always wondered why he didn't go far.
So let me ask you, what's some of your best and worst memories of going to Brownsville?
Believe it or not, I don't have no worst
What was the
stories.
best? Like, what was it like growing up for you? Best moments you can remember?
Playing ball in all Soul in the Hole, Tilden, PS 41 Park, 271, Van Dyke Park. Just growing up in Brownsville, it was like a brotherhood. Like, I wasn't out in the street banging, so everybody knew me as that brother who played basketball.
Yeah.
So I ain't have no beef in the street. And as a matter of fact, there was a lot of brothers from Tilden or Marcus Garvey. If something was going down, they would tell me, "Now don't go that way, go the other way, because shit is happening right now." So I had a great coming up in Brownsville was great for me. I didn't even know it was a hood until I left it.
Oh, so you left me?
Yeah.
Oh, I was living there?
Yeah. When I tell people I grew up in Brownsville, you would think I told them I had cancer.
Right? He was like, huh? Like the neighborhood. It's a neighborhood. People live there. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So tell me, you went from when you was photographer to executive producer.
Yes.
So tell me about how did that come about? That's a big step from taking pictures to running the show.
100%. And not running the show for the TV, for behind the scenes.
Behind the scenes, but yeah, from that, how did that transpire?
This is how it came about. Me being from Brownsville, you know we always evolving.
Yeah.
So I'm taking pictures at WBLS. And you know, whenever Mary J or whoever comes, you take the pictures, then you go to WBLS.com and you see the pictures. Kim Kardashian, I took pictures of all of them before they became big. But once Wendy got the TV show, don't let me say we got the TV show.
Wendy.
It ain't much. Once Wendy, because I be seeing a lot of my interviews, I be saying, once we got the TV show, like, it ain't mine.
Yeah, people never know.
Yeah. So I've been catching myself. Once Wendy got the TV show, I'm taking pictures, but they seen her on TV all the time.
Okay.
So now these pictures are obsolete. I'm like, okay.
Yeah, we see all the time.
We
get
see
the
her.
ourselves.
So what I did, I purchased a video camera. And so when we went off live TV, that's when I started filming behind the scenes.
Smart.
Like I would walk up on like Belle Biv DeVoe, yo, how was your show? How you like the interview? Yo, Wendy was great and she was this and that. I was Lindsay Lohan, like Lindsay Lohan is hood.
What?
Yeah, she heard. I like.
That's
her.
when I kept getting in trouble, right?
I like her vibe. I rolled up on her. What you think about the show? So what I did that, and then I edited everything together. So then we presented it to the Lionsgate, the owners.
Oh wow!
And they was like, "Whoa, we like that," and I just created that position for myself because after a while, like I said, pictures was going to be obsolete. So you know what? My time here is limited.
I gotta figure something out.
Yeah, I gotta figure something out while I'm still in. That I still got my foot in the building.
That's definitely very innovative. Definitely very innovative.
Yes, sir.
So speaking of celebrities, who was one person that you was like, oh shit, like throughout your tenure there, you was like, oh, this person in front of me?
I always go back to Morris Chestnut.
Oh what?
Yeah, because he was actually, you know, on Boys in the Hood.
Boys in the Hood. Ricky!
Yo, and that's my point. He's walking upstairs in the green room. Studio A is on the first floor.
Yeah.
He's on the green room. So he's walking, and then my man he dropped on his knees and said, Ricky! In the hallway. And Morris Chestnut said, he started laughing. I said, okay, he got a good sense of humor. He got a good sense of humor.
He gonna get that forever.
Yeah. He's a good dude. And one of the most awkward moments while I was working, I invited my brother Coco to
I always hit it. I know it's gonna be a good one.
to a party we having. So we there chilling and Tretch there, Naughty by Nature. The Wire crew was there.
Okay.
That's when around that time
I was buzzing.
Vivica Fox come in. So we like She walk in, I look at my brother. She walk in, I look at my brother.
You know your brother.
I know my brother. We see my brother whining, dancing, going on the
My man.
So I'm
man.
like, oh man, they're about to throw me and him out. I'm fired. But Vivica Fox was having fun with him, so she was like, yo, this is what I'm talking about. Then she really had a ball. That stands out because I'm thinking he was going too far, but she was loving it.
Yeah, you know she eat ass and all that, like 50 Cent said, so, you know what I mean? You never know, you know what I'm saying? She might want to enjoy yourself.
Well, I hope he ain't kissing. He get his own cup at my house.
Oh, snap. All right, so now let's get to the book. So Dr. Sebi, right? I want to talk about that because for many of us, to us, Dr. Sebi was like a myth. When we first heard about him, and first we heard was what? Nobody can't do that. You know what I mean? Stuff we were here, you know what I'm saying? Because we trained to hear that if a black person doing it gotta be something wrong, a scam, or you know something like that. And we started to see the videos. It's like it's an old man, so you know the hood. What's an old man know? You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So tell me, you from Honduras. Tell me, how did you even meet Dr. Sebi?
What's so crazy about that whole me meeting him? I live 3 to 4 miles away from him in Honduras. I've been driving by his house.
So he lived like just regular, like a regular folk? He lived
No, hell no. He lived in Usha Village. He lives in a glass mansion. You could see right through his house. But I had no idea who he was.
Wow.
My sister was diagnosed with lupus, and we didn't know. I didn't know. The whole family knew except me. So I didn't know until she was losing her battle with lupus. My older sister Olga told me, yo, I don't think she's gonna live to see 2015. And here we are in September. That's like a couple of months. So I went online. I was looking for alternative methods of healing. And Dick Gregory came up, Deepak Chopra. And then you know how Dick Gregory mentioned, and you know when you mention somebody, you have the suggested video on the side?
That came up. Okay.
Dr. Sebi video right there, Eat to Live. So I'm like, let me click on that one. I clicked on it and he said, hey, what's up? This is Dr. Sebi. I can cure AIDS, sickle cell anemia, high blood pressure, lupus. And I rewind it. This man said lupus. Rewind it again just to make sure he said lupus.
Right,
and I was like, I gotta meet him. I bought a plane ticket, went back home. I went to Usha Village and I'm trying to, in Usha Village, when you get there, there's a big ass door there, security.
What you mean? So it's like a compound village, something like that?
Yeah.
Oh, so you have to get let in to even get in the village?
To get inside the village.
Wow.
You can't just walk up in there. So I'm telling the guard, I need to see Dr. Sebi because my sister needs him. And they're like, you need to either have an appointment or someone need to or someone from inside need to come bring you in. So I'm like, I don't know nobody.
He said we don't do walk-ins.
You feel me? You can't just walk up in there. I did that for about 4 days, every day.
Going up there.
And same day, give me the same look. So my girlfriend, well my wife now, but my girlfriend at the time, she told me, won't you pray and maybe God can help you. And I'm like, there you go with all that praying shit. I'm trying to get inside and you're telling me to pray. So I'm like, I just said, you know what can it hurt? So I prayed to my ancestors, I prayed to God. And the next morning, I got a message on Facebook. The message read, hey, Mr.G, I saw, we was talking about some beef that the person had with a mutual friend, but they was commending me on the pictures. They saw some pictures I took of Jamie Foxx at the time. And then I was like, and then she was like, if you ever in Honduras, please stop by my family business. I would like for you to take pictures of the place. Mm-hmm. And I was like, what's your family business? And she said, Usha Village.
Wow, like this, connected.
So instead of me counting my blessings, I got mad. I texted her back, yo, if this is a game.
Yeah, I got time for this shit.
Yeah. I thought it was one of my people.
Yeah, I got time for this shit.
And I was like, do you know who Dr. Sebi is? And she said, that's my daddy.
Wow, now that's the biggest, the universe came together for that one.
You feel me?
Don't get no closer than that.
She said, that's my daddy. I was like, I'm in Honduras right now. I've been trying to get inside Usha for the last week. So she said, come tomorrow and we can talk. So I went the next day. When I get there, Junior, salute to Junior, that's my man now. He got the gun out.
The security.
He looking at me like, this motherfucker
Again?
don't give up. He don't give up.
Not today, I got a trick for you.
Yeah, you feel me? So now I got a name.
Yeah.
I'm here to see Sama. And he got on the jack and like, yo, Sama, Mr.G. And I hear her like, let him in. So they open up the gates and I'm walking through Usha.
So what that look like? Tell me what that look like.
I'm trying to tell you, I heard music. It wasn't shit playing, but in my mind, when I was walking, I heard music. I'm floating. I'm looking at the trees. I'm like, I can't believe I'm in here. Feel like you're walking into the Garden of Eden.
Like that, some shit like that.
Yeah.
Wow.
It's huts on the side.
Oh,
thermal waters.
So it's like natural living.
Yeah, natural. Yeah, you got the thermal waters coming out of the mountains into the village.
Wow.
Then right in the middle of the house, the compound is a mansion, a see-through mansion where Dr. Sebi lived. So I took pictures, but he was in LA at the time.
Okay.
So she told me, take pictures, Daddy gonna be here this weekend. So by the time he got there, I already took pictures. I already, in Photoshop, the trees, that's kind of, I made everything look brand new. So when he got back, she told me, you can meet Daddy now. That was October 5th. So I'm on my way to meet Dr. Sebi.
What you felt like at that moment?
Yo, I never had nerves. I never had I don't get claustrophobic, but I was claustrophobic and I'm outside.
Yeah, outside. What I'm saying.
You feel me? So we doing that, and I get there. When I get there, since I told you he has a glass mansion, I see him, and he's like 6'3".
A word?
120 pounds. I remember thinking like, this nigga look like he need a steak.
Yeah, he look so ribs right here.
I was like, damn, he's small. He's tall, but he's small. So he's making some tea, and then he walks upstairs. So his nanny that's minding his daughter, mind you, he got a 4-year-old daughter, he's 83. Yeah, you feel me? She told me follow him, so I follow him upstairs. And when we get upstairs, he got a bench similar to this by his bed. So he had the pictures I took, because I printed them out on his bed. So I remember thinking, damn, the whole time he ain't say nothing.
Oh, it's quiet.
So I'm like, damn, I hear him talking a lot of shit on YouTube. I know he can talk. So he picked up the pictures, started looking at them, and he was like, you took these pictures? I was like, yes, sir. And then he was like, he looked again.
I said, you a bad motherfucker.
So I'm in my mind, I'm expecting Dr. Sebi to be sitting like
some doctor, some shit like that.
Yes, he was like, all right, nigga, what you want? And he started rolling up his joint.
Oh shit!
So
What up, Unc?
He was like, what you? So then I'm like, I know this Dr. Sebi because it looked just like the man on YouTube, but
I ain't tripping.
It don't sound like him. So he started rolling up his weed. And he asked me that I want any. I said, nah, I don't smoke weed. He said, where you from again? Brownsville, Brooklyn? You sure? I was like, I'm positive. He was like, whatever. I'm smoking. Lit up. So we did that. And then he was like, all right, what you want, nigga?
Yeah, you hear
just like that. So I'm like, okay, well, my sister is dying of lupus. They saying that she's not going to make it to 2015. That was October 5th. And he was like, oh man, lupus ain't shit.
He was like, huh? I didn't look at him like.
So that's how he was. So then I'm like, okay. He said, let me ask you a question. He said, so you're not here for yourself? And I said, no, sir, I'm here for. He said, you're here for somebody you love? And I was like, yes. He was like, are you a Sagittarius? And I was like, yes. Is your mother a Pisces? I was like, yes.
You a psychic?
He said, I'm a Sagittarius and my mother's a Pisces.
He know it, he read it.
And then he was like, do your name start with an A and end with an O? He said, my name is Alfredo. It starts with an A and end with an O. The Mexican that healed me, his name started with an A and ended with an O. Does your name start with an A and end with an O? And don't tell me that Mr.G bullshit. And I said, yes, sir, my name is Abelardo. And then he was like, my first job, one of my first jobs in America was at Martin Luther King Hospital. What you got to do with Martin Luther King? I said, I went to Martin Luther King High School. Then he said, my son, one of my favorite sons' name is Cesar. What that name mean to you? I said, my mother's name is Lucrecia, but we call her Cesar.
Wow.
He said, sit down, nigga. I've been waiting for you for 30 years.
Seriously? Seriously?
I swear to God, I wish I was that creative to make that up.
I'm just saying, like, just. This shit blew my mind. I know you said it like, nigga, how you know all this?
I wish I was that creative. He said, my mother told me you was coming 30 years ago.
Wow.
I haven't done a lecture in 15 years because I've been waiting for you. I want to go to Virginia, because I want to go to New Jersey, I want to go to Atlanta. And I'm like, sir, I'm not an event planner. I'm a videographer, graphic designer. He was like, no, it's you. We got a lot of work to do.
Wow.
That's how my journey.
That's just like a movie. So basically, this how your journey.
That's how my journey started with Dr. Sebi.
And that's ill, because that's the first meeting you met him, right?
Yeah, first time.
Wow. So when you left, what was that like? As you leaving, like what was going through your mind?
When I left, I was filled with emotions. I felt like I was on punked because all the shit he was telling me, and like, how would he know I'm a Sagittarius? How would he know my mother's a Pisces? How would he know the school I went to? How would he know the name we called my mom? He just knew so many things that was accurate. And then for me wanting to just meet him so he could help my sister, for him wanting me to create a tour for him in 8 cities. So I was just filled with emotions that day, and I was hoping I could live up to what he needed me to do.
Wow.
Yeah.
So when you went home to the family, what did they say when you told them, like, yo, I got the cure, I got the homie, I spoke to him today?
I told him I met him, this motherfucker crazy. Those are my exact words.
It spooked me.
He was smoking weed from the time I got there from the time I left, and I was there all day.
Wow.
So I was like, yo, I found somebody. And convincing my older sister, Olga, was because my sisters were Jehovah's Witness.
Okay.
So, anything, blood transfusions, or anything dealing with anything that's not natural, they can't deal with.
Oh.
So one of the best things that Dr. Sebi offered, if nature don't make it, don't take it. Everything he offered was from nature. That's how he actually beat the court. They arrested him in 1987.
I heard about that. Fill me in about that.
They arrested him in 1987, 2 charges of practicing medicine without a license. So I'll tell you a little bit without giving up too much of the documentary we're doing with Nick Cannon. I'm name dropping still.
That's so good. Drop him, baby. Drop him. Drop him.
I gotta tell the truth. Now, he had they charged him for practicing medicine without a license. In order for you to practice medicine without a license, or practice medicine period, you need to have a chemical that makes that medicine.
Wow.
They sent his herbs that he cured people with AIDS, all the diseases with. They sent it to Lancaster Laboratory. All of this is documented.
Yeah.
And when it came back from Lancaster Laboratory, it was not one chemical in it.
So it's not considered medicine.
It's not. So he's not practicing medicine. So
yeah, sounds good then.
So he's good.
Yeah.
So that's how he was able to beat that case. It's more details that you guys are going to hear in the documentary, but ballpark, that's how it is. And Dr. Sebi never told, and that's one of the things. Dr. Sebi never told nobody you got AIDS, you had sickle cell anemia. They came with their doctors. Paperwork. He was not a chemist.
Yeah,
it's like they will come, I got herpes. And then they come back with, he never tested anybody. They
just give them what they need.
They go back to their doctors, come back negative and show him. So
yeah, they know it worked.
You feel me? So he never told nobody you got herpes, you don't have herpes, you have AIDS.
Yeah, so I ain't doing nothing. I just gave him something.
They the ones who told his story.
So did the HCD tour ever come about? How did that work out?
The what?
The HCD tour, New Jersey. Did y'all ever get to do that?
Yes.
So tell me about that. Tell me about that. No, tell me
right
about
in
some
the
of
book.
tour. So we got to stop first. What was the first stop?
Our first stop was in Philly. Salute the Bond. Black and Noble. Salute to my brother Hakeem and Tyson. When I called my man Deshaun from Honduras. This is the day, the next day after Dr. Sebi hit me with all of this. So we get there and I call Deshaun. I'm like, yo, Dr. Sebi want to do tours. He's like, what? You know Dr. Sebi? I'm like, yeah, he want me to set up. He was like, say less. He called Hakeem. Hakeem and them they told me to send them a picture of Dr. Sebi, so I sent them the picture. They had the flyer up in 2 days. And 2 to 3 weeks, we had a sold out lecture in Pennsylvania. That was my first lecture.
So let me ask you before you get, so his tour was more of lectures than the remedies. So did he speak about the remedies on the tour, stuff like that?
Of course. He spoke about his compounds and they would be for sale at the
event.
At the event.
Okay.
So he would talk for a while, and then if you got diabetes, you need this. If you got his herbs would just sell out.
So let me ask you, with the village, was that his personal village or that's a village in Honduras?
That's his village. That's where he
His
lived.
personal village. Okay.
Yes.
So I want to ask you that question because a lot of us seen him become so popular, but my thing is, I know he passed, but before he passed, why didn't his herbs and stuff go so big? What stores wasn't taking him? Like, what was the thing of why the masses of us couldn't get to it like that?
That's an amazing question, a great question. Well, right now, all the networks are sponsored by pharmaceuticals. So if they push natural healing,
It's gonna shut them down.
and that's not a little bag.
That's billions.
That's billions.
Across the world.
Yeah, how Nipsey Hussle said, I seen brothers get flipped for a couple of $100,000. Imagine billions. So no, it wasn't conducive to what they do, the narrative that the media is pushing.
So what was it like? So I know it was there resistance on your tour, like going places was that you said people knowing that things he doing will cut their money. Was there resistance, things happening?
You as a brother from Brooklyn, Brownsville, you already know if you bring structure to chaos, it's always going to be resistance.
Yeah.
We one thing that stands out to me is Atlanta, Georgia. We rented the Georgia World Congress Center, and everything was the day of or the day before. They was like, we can't let you use our equipment, the speakers, the microphone, the sound system. We like, that's in the contract.
Yeah, what else we gonna use?
You feel me? He got a big mouth, but he don't talk that loud. So they was like, I'm sorry, if you wanna use you have to pay an extra $7,200. And I'm like, you expect us to just pay that? I said, don't worry about it. I'm gonna figure something out. I called my cousin, Fran Lover. So I said, yo, Fran, he was gonna be the DJ for us anyway.
Okay, on the set.
On the set, he was gonna play an intermission. He was gonna play. I said, Fran, you got mics and all of that? He said, yo, cuz, I got that. I said, but it's for the world. You know how big it is?
Yeah. That's gotta be. Yeah.
This kid showed up with speakers that was bigger than both of us.
Oh man, that's love.
Microphone. He wired the Georgia World Congress Center up professionally. To this day, the people who read my book know that our sound system came from my cousin. So salute to Fran Lover. He's in Atlanta now. And Fran worked with Brock Kim, Eric Sermon. He worked with all of them back in the days. Him and Ralph McDaniels like close. This. Yeah, so I was just happy. I was glad to have him in Atlanta at that time to save us.
So let me ask you, with all his healing and remedies going on tour, was there any black people, anybody that was back him, that's giving support, like who you could name that was actually giving support to push him? Besides Nipsey Hussle, Nick Cannon, was there anybody else?
I know that Eddie Murphy gave him a Ford Range Rover.
Okay.
Doc didn't like the way it looked. It was like, it's square. I said,
Did he actually drive or he just sat back and chill?
He drive.
Where are you? What
he used to drive from LA to Honduras, LA to Mexico.
What?
Yeah, he used to always talk about the car look funny. I'm like, I'll take it if you don't like that. I'll take it off your hands.
Have you witnessed his remedies work on people? Like you've been there, somebody come back It's like
one of the things that I always stand out when I think about his remedies. It was a guy named Rudy. Rudy's arm was stiff when he got the Usha village. It was stiff. He couldn't move his fingers. He couldn't do anything. Dr. Sebi gave him the compounds, and within 2-3 weeks, his arm swelled up. Like it looked like a thigh. His whole arm. His fingers looked like Neanderthals.
Yeah, I can imagine it.
Yo, so Rudy girl was wilding. She was like telling Dr. Sebi, she was,
like,
what the hell are you doing?
You made it worse.
Come in here, look at him, look at his arm now. He looked like Pluto, and just going crazy. So Dr. Sebi was the type when you wild him, he was not competition. So he would just check out. He would check out, go wherever, and then when the girl came, Rudy, her man was with her, and he's looking at us like, I'm sorry.
I can't. Yeah.
I can't get
Once a girl wild, yeah.
I can't do nothing about that.
Yeah.
So Dr. Sebi totally disregarded everything she said. He looked at Rudy. He said, Rudy, when you came here, was you able to wiggle your fingers? He was like, no, sir. He said, wiggle your fingers now. He wiggled them.
Wow.
He said, are you urinating a lot? He said, yes, I'm urinating all day. He said, yes, that's pus. Every time you urinate, your arm is going smaller and smaller. So once she saw what Doc said, she turned red and got embarrassed. Like, oh man.
I was tripping.
And then he said, don't worry, sweetheart, I know you just put that on the person you love, but he's going to be fine. The plaque that was in his arm turned into mucus, so now that's why it's soft. So every time he urinates, he's going to urinate. His arm is going to get smaller. So that always sticks out to me because that's one of the first miracles I've seen.
You saw a few?
Yeah. I've seen a few, and one of the funny stories that happened when it was a little boy. Dr. Sebi told me the little boy had his arm broken in 2 different spots. So the little boy moms and his aunt brought him to Dr. Sebi. So Dr. Sebi takes him, and Dr. Sebi goes to the kitchen. And he takes some bread, some avocado, some spelt, and he start making food. So the aunt said, "What the hell that's going to do for him?" And then he was like, "Oh no, that's not for him. That's for me. That little motherfucker need a cast."
Oh shit! That's a real nigga. That's a real nigga. He said, "That's gonna need a cast."
He said, "That's my lunch. We gotta go to the hospital."
I do diseases, infections. I don't do bones.
He said, "That's my lunch. We're gonna be in the hospital all day."
Wow.
He said, "Let's go." So he told me that, I was dying laughing. That was a nut, man.
I said like a real dude, real dude.
Yeah, real dude. And Erica Badu, that was his girl, man.
Oh, she used to come out there, hang out with him and
I
stuff.
would hear them on the phone talking. He would always talk about Lisa from Lisa Left Eye.
Yeah.
I actually just came back from Lisa Left Eye house Saturday. She had a memorial, 20-year memorial, and it was her birthday too. So I was out there with Ronnie, her brother, her sister Raindrop, and her mama Wanda. We spent the whole day at her house that day. It was a good thing.
So get to that. So a lot of people have, the conspiracy theories and thoughts about Lisa Left Eye Lopes. How they say anybody who comes around and helps gets taken out. So I know you heard over the years.
Yeah.
So what is it like when you hear that all the time? Because you've been around.
Yeah, I have a Lisa Left Eye story that I would love to tell, but her family's having a documentary, and they writing a book as well. And you guys are going to know the truth about a lot of stuff when that come out. Salute to the Lopes family. Like, that's my people right there. If I didn't like them, but they cool people. And my man Ronnie, they have an amazing story to tell, and I can't wait for you guys to see it. All I can tell you that Lisa Left Eye was a real G.
Real G. I've heard stories.
Real G. I mean, I could tell you stuff about Lisa that you'd be like, hell no, there's no way.
Give me one. Give me one.
Which one I could tell you without? Nah, that's enough. What you?
So let me go to my Rolodex.
Yeah, you feel me?
Nah. Nigga said, my face famous. This shit go viral.
You feel me? They close all the doors when they see me coming. Nah, I'm gonna let her family tell that story. All I can tell you is that Dr. Sebi called her his healer. Because she was able to see stuff that other people couldn't see, and she would call you on it. Lisa wasn't the type to be quiet. If you was wrong, I don't care who you was, she told you. Like, Lisa was amazing.
So with you saying that, if people watching, it gives them more inclination to think that it was something going on, because I watched the Pop on the 5 interview, and we saw you were saying that he was arrested. Speak on that, the money laundering thing. You say he had 3 kilos of land. You say he sold one. He was traveling with the money. Mm-hmm. So how was that a charge? What made that a charge?
I'm currently working on 3 documentaries where he's trying to get me fired.
I'm a thinker, so thinkers be trying to figure stuff out.
He's trying to get me fired, bro. Yeah, you feel me? Now, amazing questions, and it's a lot of stuff that didn't add up. Nick Cannon's documentary is going to focus on the court case.
Oh, okay. That's what I wanted to find out too.
Pablo Medina, who the person who got arrested with Dr. Sebi.
Yes.
His documentary is called I Was There.
He's still alive?
Yeah, I actually spoke to him. I hope he's alive. I spoke to him yesterday.
Exactly. Quick.
Yeah. Now, he actually hired me to
I watched the Blacklist.
Yeah. He actually hired me to executive produce his documentary and film it. So we've been filming for the last year and a half, and we finally in post. So
of the Dr. Sebi one.
Yes.
So it's broken down to the case, his life, like what's
Nick Cannon.
Oh, Nick Cannon
is about the case.
Okay.
Pablo is about Dr. Sebi's origins and when he passed away. Okay. Pablo was right there in jail.
So that's when I asked you about that question, because I saw on Pablo on the 5 you spoke on that. You were saying after he got arrested for the money laundering, said Honduras jails, not mistaken, said they don't feed you like not like United States.
100%. It's a third world country.
It really is?
Yeah.
So if you in jail, there's not like a mess hall where they bring your tray.
Your family have to come feed you, and if you don't have family, you have to make friends with somebody who have family to get fed. And if that don't happen, you fighting for people food.
So
jail is jail in Honduras.
Pretty much, you're saying for him to get poisoned, somebody had to give it to him under his tree of people to come there. Pretty much.
Fact.
So, question actually, did anyone ever find out what kind of poison was it?
Yes.
And did they know like where this poison manufactured type thing? Because he's a major figure. So was there got an investigation by law enforcement or?
They're in the middle of that right now as we speak.
Okay. So you said on Power 5, you don't think it was the government that had anything to do with it?
No, I don't.
And what's your conclusion to that?
Not saying that the government is not capable of it, so I don't want people thinking that I don't think they're capable of it, because, government capable of anything. But in this particular case, based on my research and what I've seen, government don't have anything to do with it.
So the other dude was in jail, like with a cell next to him? He was like in the cell?
In the same cell.
In the same cell?
In the same cell.
We gonna lie, right? All right. Nah. Yeah. But yeah.
But
so he didn't eat it.
No, his name is Pablo Medina. He doesn't have anything to do with it.
All right, so they said it's basically food and like that. It was an instantaneous death, or was it like hospital, like weak deterioration?
Deterioration.
Oh, okay. And deterioration of the man who was the healthiest man on the planet.
Yes. This is a brother that was 83 and still making kids.
Yeah. So my question is also, I don't want, if it's too much, let me know, but
yeah, I will.
Where does he even know this stuff? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, that's the fascinating part. Like, how did he even know how to do this stuff?
Well, his claim to fame is his grandfather, who was Haitian.
Oh.
He was like, don't send that boy to school, because I don't want to have him unlearn all the bullshit that they teach you in school. So nature was his teacher. So that's why one of his best teachers was nature. And Dr. Sebi will walk around countries and talk to the indigenous people. And like, if I had a headache, what herb? He'd speak to the older people. So then he would take that herb, send it to the lab, and find out what's the active ingredient in that herb, and then capitalize off of it and put it in capsules and give it to people.
So how was his not fame, but his what's the right term? Relationship with Honduras. How was the whole country to him? Like, did they embrace him because he had so much healing power to help the people? Was it like they shunned him?
No, they loved him. They didn't know how famous he was until he passed away.
Oh, wow.
It's just like when we played ball in the hood. I remember my man Fred from Marcus Garvey, remember?
Oh, man,
We played with Fred all the time, and like he was just a good ball player to us. But when I played against him in high school, he was like they loved him. He was like
it's different. Feel like, oh
I
shit.
feel like,
oh wow.
Fred is the man out here in the city.
Yeah.
But in Brownsville, he was just Fred from Marcus Garvey. He would drop step and dunk on you in a heartbeat, and like that was just normal for us. So it wasn't until I seen him in a different light when I saw, oh yeah, people really honor him. So it's just like that. He was just Fred, and ironically, his name is Alfredo. They call him Fred. He was just Fred in Honduras. Like,
so, where was you at when you got the call that he passed? Like, what was you?
I was at Wendy Williams' house.
Wow.
Name dropping, but
He's the man.
it's the truth. I was at Wendy Williams' house. We was filming for her act, and my man Chicle Bryant in Honduras, he called me and said, "Se nos fue Fred." He said it in Spanish, but Dr. Sebi left us, and I was like, "You sure?" Because 2 weeks before that, they told me that he died, but he was still alive.
Oh, okay, so
He's like, "You sure?" He said, "Yeah, G. If you want, I can send you a picture." I said, "No, don't send me a picture. I don't want to see him like that."
Oh, you took a picture of him?
Everybody took pictures of him, like, so I was like, okay. So I remember filming at Wendy House, and then I wasn't able to continue.
Yeah.
I was like, yo, we're gonna have to wrap it up today. And Wendy took it bad too, because remember, Dr. Sebi healed her son.
Oh yeah, I never knew that.
Yeah, little Kev, he had a situation where he needed healing, and the doctors in the tri-state area were saying that can't do nothing for him. It's going to be like that 8 months to a year.
Wow.
So they sent him to Honduras, and Doc healed him in 3 weeks.
Wow.
Came back, graduated on time. He's a college kid now doing his thing. So, and a lot of people thought that Wendy was doing plastic surgery again when she lost weight.
But it wasn't that.
Dr. Sebi changed her diet, and Wendy was looking great. So
Yeah,
he was
definitely.
close. Like when we did the New Jersey lecture, Wendy came to the Airbnb where we was at, her and her husband and little man. So that's when Doc met them.
I met them personally.
Yeah, so we was still all day. So when little man got sick, Dr. Sebi said, "Send me the boy." So they sent him to Honduras. So Kev and him went, and I stood back and stayed with Wendy to do the show.
So let me ask you, like you said, you have the other guy doing his part, Nick Cannon doing his part, and he passing. Do y'all feel that, because everybody touched Dr. CB documentary book, the rumor they died. So do you feel that? Is that one thing you worry about? Or is like, man, people just talking shit?
People just talking shit. Even if I did feel that, like, I'm a Garifuna man, and my dad used to always say, a coward dies 1,000 times before he actually dies.
True.
So I can't walk around being afraid of death. You feel me? So, of course, where there's smoke, it was fire. And I'm not going to sit here and be naive and say that it's not a possibility that shit could happen. But I don't live in fear. Okay. I don't live in fear. Nipsey Hussle, rest in peace. D.B. Elias Christ,
Yeah.
SMG.
Brooklyn, D.B. Yeah.
D.B. was Christ was talking to Nipsey almost every night, and Nipsey was like, "Yo, yeah, Mr.G, I can't believe he got that footage." So,
so you had this footage from way before Nipsey died too?
Yeah.
Okay, so you got Nick Cannon. So after he died, that's when you were Nick Cannon.
When Nipsey died, Nick Cannon took over the project.
Okay.
And anything dealing with Dr. Sebi, my name always come up because I'm the only one who got raw footage of him.
So you're the only one?
Yeah, because Dr. Sebi wouldn't let people go inside his house with production cameras.
Oh, yeah.
And he would call me and say, "Yo, G, what you doing?" I'm like, "Nothing." He said, come over, bring your camera. I feel like talking shit. So he would sit down, I would put the camera there just like that, and I'll sit on the side, and he just
rock out.
He told his whole, I got hours of Dr. Sebi talking. That's how anybody who's doing a documentary of him, my name always come up because if they want footage of Dr. Sebi in the documentary, they have to come see me.
So how does that work? Through the family estate, or that's your footage and you control that?
That's my intellectual property.
Okay.
That's my intellectual property. And of course, his family, who controls his estate, those are my people. Salute to Abdul Bowman, salute to Melba Bowman. They gave me permission to sell Dr. Sebi lollipops if I want.
So now it's crazy. I asked you a question. So I don't know the future plans, but I always somehow thought of Dr. Sebi pharmacies or stores around the country where it's readily available.
That's something that his sons would do, like his son Victor Bowman, his stepson KT, the arts degree, is doing amazing work. When I tell you amazing work, I just came from a seminar. He had a herpes seminar on Sunday. This Sunday that just passed when I was in Atlanta. So Saturday I was with Lisa family. Sunday I was with KT. This brother have some, if anybody took the jab, we're going to call it the jab, but you know what I'm talking about. If anybody took the jab to keep their jobs, he's flushing it out of their bodies.
That's dope.
If anybody has herpes and think that it can't be reversed, he did an amazing lecture on herpes and gave people some stuff that blew their mind. So KT, the arts degree, you could look for him.
So
yeah, he has this black stingless bee honey too. He was putting in everybody's eyes and clearing their vision up. And that same honey, you could put it on outbreaks and it make the outbreaks go away as far as herpes is concerned. Like I don't want to even try and talk about it because technically I'm not qualified to talk about it.
You know more about
but KT, the arts degree on Instagram or on YouTube, like this brother is amazing.
That was my next question. I'm going to ask you, because a dude like this, he's pretty smart, not pretty smart, very smart. Did he prepare a successor?
Yes and no. Dr. Sebi was a master student. He learned everywhere he go. So that's why everybody who say, I only do what Dr. Sebi, like if you came up to Dr. Sebi and said, I do everything that you say, you a person that he wasn't interested in speaking too long. He liked people who knew their shit too, so that y'all could learn together. So if I could heal with this, well, you could heal with together. We got a stronger compound. So he has family. He has his wives that he did. He worked with, but it's not one person that will be like he took Dr. Sebi's spot.
Okay.
You get it? Because it was several people. So Pablo Medina is still healing to this day. KT, the arts degree. Victor Bowman, Dr. Inky, who's a brother in Detroit.
We definitely have a lot of guys out there healing.
My eyes right here in Brooklyn by the Barclays Center. She just don't make a lot of noise, but she's healing people every day.
Oh, yeah?
Yes, right there by the Barclays Center. And I feel blessed to just have these people on my phone.
Yeah, to be able to reach out.
Yeah, like, Mama, how you doing, or what's going on? Like, so it's just a blessing. It's just a blessing.
All right, so it's time to name drop. Let's get the name dropper going. Let's go.
I've been doing that shit all day.
Let's get into it. Let's get into the big man. We talk about, so you and Nick Cannon, Wendy Williams, Dr. Sebi, so y'all working on two different projects together, or?
Nick Cannon is a project in itself. Pablo Medina is another. I'm doing 4 documentaries right now. I'm doing
tied up.
Yeah. It's a good thing. I know people with worse problems.
Yeah, definitely. People that can't get busy.
You feel me?
Yeah.
I'm doing Nick Cannon's. I'm doing Pablo Medina's. I'm doing John Nunez. Salute to John Nunez, Colombian brother.
The photo photographer?
No, John, a lot of people confuse
Oh,
it.
not the same.
Nah. John Nunez, he has the Lynx Beach jackets.
Okay.
The one Raekwon wore in the
video.
So we doing a documentary on his life. He flew me to Medellin, Colombia, Cartagena, Barranquilla.
What's that?
Those are places in Colombia.
Places?
Cities in Colombia. We was there filming the whole time. And I'm proud to announce that my book is going to be a documentary. We good?
Yeah, right here,
Yes,
My Journey.
My Journey with Dr. Sebi. We doing a docu-series on that. I don't want to say what we streaming it at right now until we get the okay, but I'm excited about that.
So what kind of docu-series? Is it like more talking, more of like narration, showing narration?
Actually reenacting everything in the book.
So you're gonna be acting in, or somebody playing you and?
Yeah, somebody gonna be playing me. I'm trying to get Denzel. No, I'm just playing.
Morris Chestnut.
We call him Zell.
We, not me. I don't know. Denzel. Like, you know me?
Salute to my
My
brother.
friend do.
Salute to my brother Carl Jones making that happen. Do you know who Carl Jones is?
No,
I bet you know who Carl Jones is.
Carl Jones.
Yeah, runner?
I'm gonna tell you who he is. Because the first time he reached out to me. He asked me, "Do you know who I am?" And I thought it was Carl Thomas. I said, "I probably got some of your songs."
From the song. Oh
He was
man.
he was like, "Nah."
Nah, fam.
Carl is an animator. You ever heard of the Boondocks?
Oh yeah, hell yeah.
He's the animator for the Boondocks,
Wow.
and he's executive producer for the original OG with Tracy Morgan from season 3 and up. So he was actually Erica. He introduced Erica Badu to Dr. Sebi. He read my book, and based on his knowledge about Dr. Sebi, he was like, my book was dead on. He said, I didn't read anything in that book that made me think he was reaching. So him and I are working together on the docu-series.
And is that scheduled or just in the works right now?
We're actually in production right now.
Oh, production now, so look out for that coming soon. So tell me, is this your first book?
Yes.
Yes.
My son took this picture. My son Mr.G. And I took this picture of Dr. Sebi at our Detroit lecture. So yeah, definitely my first book, but not my last book.
So let me ask you, if somebody wanted to use Dr. Sebi in a movie, they had to come to you to license any kind of footage. Because I saw you on Breakfast Club, you're saying most of the clips people see online is from you.
Yo, I see my footage of Dr. Sebi videos everywhere. I'm letting everybody know you guys can use the video now. Just don't cover my logo. Once you cover my logo, I'm coming for that ass.
You hear that now? You hear that now?
Striking.
You get them content strikes?
I'm striking.
Yeah, they definitely content strikes.
Don't cover my logo. Long as you don't cover, because it's all about the message, really. So when I see my footage, and then I'm like, damn, they covered my logo, they bold.
Yeah.
So I reach out to those people, but if you don't cover my logo, feel free to use the content.
So with Nick Cannon and the Dr. Sebi project, is it something y'all gonna go to movie theaters or just straight streaming like?
And that's the thing. It's actually done already. We was gonna put it in Sundance January 20th this year.
Okay.
But Utah got plagued with COVID.
Oh yeah, so it shut down.
So it shut down. Nipsey Hussle dream. You ever saw Dolomite? How he wanted to see the people online in the theaters.
Yeah.
So Nick would want to put it in theaters to see the lines for people.
Yeah, I think that'd be dope. I think
it'll be dope.
Theaters, yeah.
So depending on how this COVID thing act, that's the plan. But if we don't open up again, I guess he's going to entertain Netflix, Showtime, Peak, like that. That's a Nick Cannon question. But based on what we spoke about, definitely going to be for the theaters.
And would it be like, how many parts? Because you say you have so much. So I know it's like...
No. Actually, Nick Cannon's documentary is about an hour and 20 minutes, 30 minutes. Okay. So, because all the interviews, he put it in one. That's why my book is nowhere we could do it in one episode because it's just too much.
How many pages is it for your book?
226.
Oh, yeah. Definitely.
4 of them got pictures in it for the people who don't like to read.
So also with pictures now, it's this new thing I see with pictures and intellectual content. Obviously, I don't know if you saw it, but they was trying to sue Nas for posting his own picture because the photographer owns it. So
it's that what people don't understand. Well, your man probably understand. What's his name? 300.
Yes.
All right, 300 probably understand. Anything he take with his camera is his intellectual property, even though it's me. So it's his intellectual property. So if I take a picture that he took of me and post it, he gonna like, hold up, I ain't give permission for this. I didn't license that, even though it's my image.
Yeah.
Even though it's my image.
That's ill. So it's like the times is changing because it's not even like a court to refute it. Like that's me. What are you doing?
Yo, this one lady offered me $3,000 to take a picture of the camera that I took. That I filmed Dr. Sebi with NFT or the
NFT.
NFT. She said, can I get the first one that you? And I was like, I got all of this stuff that can
You want
sell.
you want to pitch out the camera. You don't want the content.
Yo, I'm bugging out the ways you can make money now.
It's anything.
I got Dr. Sebi clothes that he did. I got the cameras. I got so much stuff. Like, I wasn't even thinking about that. And I just told her, thank you for putting that in, enlightening me about
so you ain't do it?
No, I ain't do it yet.
Oh, well, you a picture of a camera?
Yeah. You know what the camera is? Okay, we're gonna talk.
We're gonna talk. We might have to make some more of these.
Yeah.
Something bigger.
How many pictures you want?
Yeah, because they've been telling me I could take 10 pictures and only sell those 10 pictures.
Yeah,
and
limited.
The first picture is the most expensive, then the least expensive. I didn't know it's a whole different world we live in.
And even now with the metaverse, with that's a whole nother lane and stuff like that.
Yeah.
I'm just learning about that, but you can even put that in the metaverse.
Didn't Snoop buy a house that's like millions in the
and did a
metaverse?
concert in the metaverse and made money, virtual money.
Yo, that's something that I definitely need to get into, because I know a lot of brothers making some nice money in the metaverse.
So let me ask you, looking back from when you started with the photography, Smooth the Hustler, into now, what do you feel like one of your greatest accomplishments you've done for yourself through all this time?
Marrying my wife.
That's beautiful. That's beautiful.
That's beautiful, but fuck all that.
Beautiful.
Nah.
I probably would have said it, but it's beautiful. It's beautiful. Somebody say for the man. You know what I'm saying?
Nah. Whenever we recently got married in the 17th of October, so that's fresh in my mind, and I don't see nothing that trumps that. With that being said,
It's my career-wise.
yeah, career-wise, I think being able to go from photography to videography to producing to executive producing, like, I think that a brother coming from Brownsville, and I've been in rooms with people that I never thought I would be in rooms with. And
give us some name droppers. Give us some names.
Nah, I don't want to do that right now. I'm trying to be humble right now. Let me just have this moment of being humble.
Little moment.
I've been in rooms with people that I never thought I would be in rooms with, and then they asking me, Mr. G, is this angle okay? Is this? So I feel blessed, and I just hope God continue to bless me, and I try to stay humble, because I've seen a lot of people get a little position and forget who they are. You feel me? Like, that's why my brother told me about your show. I was like, what? Let's do it. I'll be back in New York next week and just set it up.
Definitely.
And I want to thank you for just extending your platform to me.
Definitely, man. I wanted to bring you here because, our people, one thing I learned throughout me just filming is that we create the content for our people that's going to watch, they're going to learn.
Yes.
So it's our job to give them quality content that they can learn from. Because
Yeah.
we can put up bullshit all day, but not realizing these kids, these people soak this shit in. If we don't get them something they can learn from, we can't complain about them keep doing the bullshit. You know what I'm saying?
That's a fact. Nah, I wish you continued success, bro, and don't, the sky's the limit. Don't let nobody tell you that you can't, because I was in a situation where I'm a photographer from Brownsville. I'm surrounded by Lionsgate employees. I'm feeling like I don't belong there, but salute to my man James, Big James on the Wendy Williams show. He's her head of security. He would see that I was uncomfortable.
Yeah.
So he was, come here, young blood, and he was talking. He said, yo, you guys say, yeah, I just feel kind of funny around here.
Yeah.
He said, nah, keep your head up. You belong here. You wouldn't be here if you wasn't supposed to be here. So he told me that, and then Dudley told me that, and then the producer started
Building. Yeah.
Then I feel like I'm at home there now. So it's always about somebody helping you. And I don't want people to think that they can't do it by this, that you have to do it by yourself. I'm a product of Smooth the Hustler, SMG. They was the first celebrities that said, nah, G, you come in with us. Took me to BLS, took me to all these places, and I was just happy to be with them. And then I got the opportunity for the Wendy Williams show, they was like, yo, Smooth and Trig, I was like, nah, do your thing now. You in.
You in now.
You in. Do
Doors
you.
open.
We talk to you later.
Yeah, you got it. Yeah.
So I'm forever grateful to, my Brownsville brothers.
So let me ask you, before we go, What are some of the things that you want to do that you haven't done yet? Because you did a lot, but you know things come down the line. But what are things you want to do that you haven't done yet?
I would love to clone myself.
You could do that.
Yeah. No, I'm talking, when I mean clone myself, you see how I'm producing.
Oh, okay.
I want to train people to do that.
Okay.
You feel me? Because someone took me under their wing, so I'm looking forward to, somebody with good energy to give them the blueprint to do what they got to do. Like, I think that's my mission in life, to help as many people as possible. And I keep that in mind all the time. That's why today, when I was on my way here, my brother was like, "Nah, bring the big guns out. Let's do what we do." So we came here. In my mind, I'm coming to Paramount Studios.
Yeah, really.
You feel me? Because if I'm not going to celebrate my people, who's going to celebrate my people?
That's definitely true.
You feel me? So that's how I came out here with that attitude, and hopefully, not just this podcast. I know you guys have a film that you're doing. I hope that we could collaborate and let me share my tools with you guys and just help y'all take it. Because my whole thing is a C. I don't compete. I try to compliment.
Yeah.
You feel me? So hopefully you guys could let me help any way that I can.
You definitely
same way I can learn from you guys, because I don't know everything.
Yeah.
You feel me?
We new too. I'm 5 years in, so I'm still learning. 5 or 6 years, something like that.
Yeah.
6. Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know everything, but I know I have enough to complement a situation. So I'm looking forward to working with you guys.
Definitely. And right now, look, they don't realize this right here. Look, Brownsville. So all people who don't know is learning that. Because my generation growing up in Brownsville, like you said, school, the house, and all them. But we grew up in Brownsville, we didn't have nobody. Even to this day, the people we have now is us. Like you said, somebody to take you around the industry. We didn't have that. So remember, we from Tilden, Van Dyke, Riverdale. So Smooth, the Hustle, Mo P, they all the way up the hill.
Yep.
So we never had no hometown heroes, and I was right there. We never had nobody to actually do it. You know what I'm saying? Mike Tyson, but my generation, so we had no Jay-Z's, no Uncle Murders, or there's nobody to help us get in this business. You get what I'm saying? So people watching this now, you see people from Brownsville, from the same neighborhood, in this business, doing it, name dropping. You know what I'm saying? Big names. You know what I'm saying? And for a lot of people who might not know that, who might not know you or Brownsville, you know what I'm saying? They need to see that we have these kind of people here. Because I didn't see that, you know what I'm saying? So for me, my job is to do that for the people coming up under me. Is to be that guiding light, you know what I'm saying? Like that, because when we came outside, we saw guns, drugs, and all that shit. Now when the kids come outside, they see us fly, but we got cameras and different stuff like that. So they come stand there and watch. They come actually hold it. You know what I'm saying? So they can see that, these niggas fly, they older, they doing something positive, they holding cameras, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I wanted you up here to show people that there's an elite Brownsville of people that's doing stuff. They might not be in the hood daily, but there's a lot of people from Brownsville that's doing real big things, and we need to showcase that.
Yeah, and one of the issues that I see in our community is that if you look like me, I don't think that you got it. You got it. So that's just how I'm doing. I wish that more of us had that same mentality of helping each other out instead of building each other down.
Yeah.
We imagine if everybody put a little bit of something. Where can we be? Like I have a production. You have content. We need actors, because without the actors, we can't. What we gonna do with the equipment?
Read the script over to ourselves.
So we all need each other. Nobody's hiding nobody. We all complement the whole situation. Now I'm excited. For the time that I'm in the United States or in New York, I hope we collaborate in some stuff.
Definitely. So last thing before we go, there any misconceptions of Dr. Sebi you want to clear up, or things that people don't know that you want to give them?
Okay, I'm gonna tell you how Dr. Sebi used to say. People used to always ask him, "Do he eat meat?" So the misconception, he would say, this lady asked him this when we was in Atlanta. She said, "Dr. Sebi, do you eat meat?" And he said, "It all depends if you consider pussy meat."
Yeah, We had to end it with that one. That was a perfect way to end it.
Yo, I'm gonna leave y'all with that.
Yeah, perfect way to end it. No better way than that right there. Yo, shout out Dr. Sebi. The book, My Journey with Dr. Sebi is out. Go get that, Mr.G. I'm gonna read this. My girl don't read this. You know what I'm saying? Gotta shout them out, you know what I'm saying? Make sure y'all tune in, there's gonna be more. The documentary's coming. I mean, this is beautiful, it's black, it's content, it's powerful, it's creative. The story how he met, it's still blowing my mind. How he knew there's a Pisces and all that, still blowing my mind. But I believe something like that's real because prophecy, and we come from people that's spiritual with powers that, like you said, Lisa left out that you wouldn't believe if you didn't see it. Because my grandma used to tell me when she grew up, she used to see stuff growing up and it looked at her different. But I believed it because, you know, we had that kind of intuition. Everybody don't have it now. I ain't got it. Only I see is, you know what I mean, the hustle, grind, put things together. But some people can see different things. So before we go, leave me your IG, where they can find you at.
Yes. You guys can find me on Instagram, my Dr. Sebi book. You guys can get the book on Amazon. If you want the audio version, you could get it at myjourneywithdrsebi.com. If you bought a book from myjourneywithdrsebi.com, I actually sign them and send you an audio book. But if you buy it from Amazon, it's still my account, but I just don't have access to those books, so you're getting them directly from Amazon. So either or, you supporting the movement, and just you guys stay tuned. We got a lot happening for 2023.
That's your people's in there? Oh yeah, you tuned in. Who that? Oh, KT, the degree. Thanks for the shout out.
KT the arts degree. That's my brother.
He tuned in. Okay,
that's the brother I was telling you about. I didn't even know he was in here.
Oh, his son. Okay.
Yeah.
Shout out. Definitely love you on our live. Appreciate that.
KT the arts degree. Let me tell you how gangster his mother is. When his mother met Dr. Sebi, she was 8 months pregnant with him. And when they was trying to arrest Dr. Sebi, his mother was Dr. Sebi's co-defendant.
Wow.
They was trying to get her to flip on Dr. Sebi. So she was like, look, yeah, my kids are grown. They can stay with my aunt or my mom. Take me. I'm not going to turn on
That's
this man.
gangster.
So salute the mama pill, Annette Thomas. Got married. Yeah.
Black Queens always hold it down.
You feel me? She said, do whatever y'all want to do with me. I'm not flipping on this man.
That's real.
So salute to her. And salute to KT's Queen Laree. Track with Oracle, you could find her. When I was in Atlanta, in Georgia this weekend, she took me to the store. She had some amazing stuff in there. And I love to see people that look like me doing it.
Yeah, just beautiful feeling. I was down in Atlanta recently too at a film studio, just visiting, just trying to learn more because we've been 6 years now. So, a lot of things are still new to us in film, but we always want to learn. So we definitely gonna work. We gonna talk.
Yes, sir. We here.
So y'all, FCC TV. You can't stop a moving culture. It's impossible. We signing out. It's your boy C-Class, AVE, aka the Chicken Man. Let's go for life, man. Thank y'all. We love y'all. Like, join, subscribe, and watch for more content, man. We ain't never gonna stop.
I keep hearing about this chicken dance. What's that about?
Oh man, hey, Chicken Man. It's from my web series. The show. I did a dance in the show like 2-3 times, and then I went outside and. I heard chicken dance.
I heard 300 be killing it.
They nicknamed He's slow. He do the turkey wing like this. The rotisserie.
The baby back rib.
They don't call me Class no more. They call me Chicken Man.
Chicken Man.
So I went and got the mask. I made a song to it. And I've been running around with it, and
make it happen.
Yeah, that's a Chicken Man though. I'm gonna get my own wings soon, eventually. And we out. We out, y'all. Let's go for life. We love y'all. We ain't gonna stop. But Puppy said, I told you that we gonna stop. I told you that we gonna stop. Brownsville.